Good morning and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about Section 8 consulting. We've been doing a lot of work and I want to introduce a new website. I want you guys to keep in mind that we're still working on this. The first page was a custom page. I know we spent about 2 weeks articulating every little idea and a lot of things came and went. So I want to go ahead and introduce that to y'all. Now, there's still changes in the motion of what we're doing for the website, and also want to let you guys know, a lot of you have been pressing me very hard for consulting appointments. As most of you know, I offer consulting for, a set amount for a certain amount of time, and so we're having to revisit how we're going to be doing that because some of it's very time consuming. But anyways, let's take a look at the new page. Now, as you can see here, I do put full disclosure at the top, and that's just to make sure the federal government understands that I'm not trying to defraud anybody. Nobody wants to get involved in that, all right? And so I'm going to go ahead and move my picture around a little bit. As you can see, this is a custom site, and it does allow things to move around, and there's a lot of content and a lot of work that's going into this, and it does actually go on for quite a while. And it just keeps going and going and going. One of my goals as a Section 8 consultant was to make sure that my clients were well informed. 99% of the stuff that I see on YouTube and on Google when you search is trash. So if we can't get the right information out there, then my goal has really just been to correct the record of all these things. So I've employed a full stack web developer, which is helping with the website. I have an editor from the LA Times. I've got a blog writer, a social media writer, and all of these people are working in conjunction with each other. In addition to looking at, now I should keep in mind those are freelance people that do work for me, and in addition to considering an assistant, and I'm still looking at when we might be able to implement that. So now I want to move on to this page here, and this is not going to be available to y'all yet. It was temporarily, and it did work out okay. However, this booking page, as you can see, the old software was garbage. It took too long to update. It was very confusing, and so we decided to implement a new booking software. This will not be available for most of this week. We've got about 4 or 5 days work left, unfortunately. So nobody will be able to book any type of consulting with me. I'm sorry, but if we're going to do things, we should at least do it right. But I wanted to give y'all a preview of what you'll be seeing. So, you see it here. It's a lot like the old one. If you've checked out with the old software that I had for about a week, pretty simple. You're able to click on appointment times, pick the days, and then the times, and that's really what's being offered. Now, the one thing I want you guys to take note of is down here. I will also be offering additional services below. These are toggles. So when you click on the X, it opens up and it tells you all about what I'm offering. There will be at least a minimum of 10 to 20, if not more than 50 over time, additional services that I can offer. Now, after doing this so long, I do know that a lot of you guys have me doing very particular things, okay, that are kind of outside of the normal scope of what I do of consulting. So to address all these niche things that you guys want me to do, I'll offer it as additional services. Now, as most of you know, I've been doing consulting, for you guys for around 18 years now, and 14 of those years, I think 14 to 16 of those years, I was doing it at no cost to anybody. We've evolved these days. We've evolved into a new generation of people, and it's time that, there's fair compensation for my time. Obviously, I have to pay bills, pay a phone bill, and so on. Now, one thing I'm going to say is that we're going to be doing away with 30 minutes of consulting for a set price because it's too much time. So it's not so much that I'm unwilling to talk to people for 30 minutes. I'm sorry, I keep scratching my eye. It's the fact that a lot of the conversation, roughly half of that conversation, is me repeating the same thing over and over and over. I don't know if any of you guys have worked for Pizza Hut or Domino's, but if you have to sit there and talk consistently for 30-minute stretches, 10, 20 times a day, you start losing your voice. In fact, by the time I reach the 8th or 9th call, it really starts to become painful to talk. So what we're going to do is supplement it at 20 minutes, and what I'm going to do is build up very specific videos that walks you through the process, because I'm having the same conversations about COC housing and the housing authority, when in fact one video, private video, inclusion of the actual consulting would be a much simpler process. We talk for 10-20 minutes, and then I could give you a link to a private video. And I want to make it very clear, this would be a private video with very exclusive information. It's highly detailed, much more than anything I've ever put on my channel. And so it would really almost be instructional, as if I were a professor. And so that would allow those of you that have learning disabilities, those of you that are trying to do consults when you're in a car, that can't take notes, some of you just simply digest information slowly. One of the big problems is I have to talk, even with 30 minutes, it's not enough. When I did 30-minute, it's never enough. It's, sometimes this conversation will carry on for an hour. It's a very bad business model, obviously, from my point, being on the phone for an hour with each client, and then only, being able to pay, get paid for, 30 minutes of my time. So I think what we'll be able to do is address the hardcore issues by consulting during a, 10 to 20 minute consult. And then I would be able to defer you to an actual video that you can sit in the comfort of your home. You can watch, you can take notes, you can rewind it. You have it for the life of, for a lifetime. I'm not going to retract the video. But make no mistake, the video will not be one of my general videos that's open to everybody to view on the channel. This will be something that's inclusive of purchasing my consulting. Now with that, we obviously have more pages on the website that are coming. I don't like publishing pages until they're ready. So there will be a blog page, and this blog page, let me tell you something. This is not some traditional garbage where I have somebody write a bunch of garbage articles so, we can get the word out in some marketing scheme. It's not that. These are step-by-step blogs. These are blogs that are highly detailed. These are blogs that actually speak, in detail and in volume as to what you should be doing, okay? These are not those how other websites do. They just have anybody write a blog, and it can just be a bunch of general garbage that's useless. One of the things that's been bothering me over the years is the fact that a lot of blogs I see writing information about Section 8 and how to get housing and all that, most of that stuff's just garbage. It really is garbage. It gets you nowhere. Some of it doesn't even make any sense. But yet Google will rank it highly. You've got people that have no worldly idea of what the hell they're talking about, but yet their blog is ranking number one on Google simply because they're the only one in consideration to have written anything. And of course that person's probably stole the information, respun it, and everything else, and then it's just convoluted. It's nowhere near reality. So there's just a shitload of bad information on Google. But Google has no other choice. It's really just it's providing the best stuff it can find. And unfortunately, I think a hooker or a prostitute or the education of a bubblegum machine would have done a better job of explaining Section 8 than a lot of what I'm seeing on Google, to be frank with you guys. Okay, I know that's a little bit over the top, me saying that, but that's just how bad it is, in my opinion. So we're going to set the record right, and we're going to set it right with hundreds of blog articles. And I'm going to push down all this trash that I see on Google. It's been my ultimate mission, and that is why I've hired an additional SEO company to absolutely hammer Google with these articles and start getting rid of the garbage. So just same thing I did with YouTube. You've got a lot of people making crazy videos because they want to make a few nickels and dimes, for their revenue, and they don't care what you tell you guys. So I've worked methodically for years now to push down all these garbage videos so they no longer appear and you guys will quit getting bad advice. Look, if you want advice, you get it from a consultant. I'm only one of a very small handful of people in this nation that do what I do. In fact, you can look on Google, you can look on YouTube, and the reality is there's only one expert in this field, and it's me. I do not see and cannot find anybody else that is even closely comparable to the wisdom, to the knowledge, and that have the sheer amount of data and information. Whether it's assisting a landlord or a tenant, there's simply nobody that even comes close to my reality. So, with that being said, I don't want the video to go too long. So these are the changes we're expecting this week. We're not accepting appointments just yet. We're going to lower the amount of the consult, and then I'm going to give you highly detailed videos so I don't have to be so damn repetitive every other call. And then hopefully that will solve a lot of the issues I'm having with being consumed. And a lot of these additional things I'm going to be offering, man, let me tell you, there's going to be a library of things that are absolutely going to blow your mind. I'm going to be able to give you every COC location, every COC address, phone number, email, directors of services, every low-income housing building in the nation. I'll be able to give you access to any manual. So basically, I'm downloading my entire career into this website, and I'm making it an instrument for goodwill for people to be able to get what they need, and finally set the record straight for people that are out there looking for Section 8 housing. All right, guys, I've enjoyed talking with you this morning. I hope you have found some useful information here. And again, we'll start resuming consulting calls and such in a few days. All right? Have a good morning. Bye-bye.